I don't know if we just say it up front.
May the fourth be with you.
I'll even add a graphic for it. But we're going to talk about other stuff. OEM dips, summer trips, and the art of haptic EV motorcycles.
Everywhere I go, the people really want to know who I is.
Oh man, we got all kinds of May the 4th graphics.
All the May the 4th GIFs, whatever you want to call them.
All the force is with us today. So you know, Isaac, our producer, is a huge Star Wars fan and a huge Lego fan. So it's like all come together. Danielle has built in May the 4th Easter eggs into our Asana workflow.
It's unbelievable. It's complete team mentality. You know, I love Star Wars. It's always, you know, I've seen every one of them, watched the original trilogy growing up, watched all of the new Mandalorian and all of that type of stuff. But it's still, you know, it's not quite a holiday for me. So, but I, you know, play along. Yeah, at the May the 4th, right?
Look, there was a time in my life when I would have watched Obi-Wan Kenobi mow his lawn, right?
You're like, this is thrilling.
Just like look
but
at
actually,
look at those lines.
Just been like, yeah, it would have just been like this, right?
I wonder when I feel like May the 4th is like a recent phenomena. Maybe it was like more of a nerdy one, but I wonder when it actually started. Isaac, if you know when it started, feel free to jump in and just let us know. I feel like outside the last like 5 to 8 years, I don't remember talking about it.
1979 election of Britain's Margaret Thatcher.
No.
Celebrate May the 4th, aka Star Wars Day. Look at that.
You know what year I was born in? 1979.
Get out. See, you are.
I'll always remember
the birth of all things. All things May the 4th be with you.
No, I doubt that.
All right, wait.
Margaret Thatcher.
Here it is. Okay, so to celebrate her victory, her party took a half-page advertisement in the May 4th, 1979 issue of the London Evening News that read, "May the 4th be with you, Maggie. Congratulations."
No,
that is genius level marketing. Like expert level unlocked. That's unbelievable.
It lasted 43 years so far.
God,
it became a part of culture,
like international culture, because of a campaign in 1979. Come on, now.
It's so good. It's so good. Well, talking about culture and doing things that shape culture, this Monday, May 9th, we are having a family reunion remix live in Tampa evening. 7 o'clock. What is it? I wanted to say the time.
Yeah, 7 to 10. 7 to 10. We're going to be at American Social right across the water from the convention center. So if you're going to Digital Dealer, or if you just live in Tampa and you work at a dealership, you should come on over. You do not have to be there for Digital Dealer to attend this event. We've actually got people driving in, flying in, particularly for this event. You know, Paul, actually, I was on I don't know if anyone knows, but Jim Ziegler named himself the alpha dog back in the day, and kind of like a stalwart of our industry from a training, especially finance side perspective, and has always led a lot. You know, he had the internet battle plan for years and years, was kind of one of the first people to show that you could send videos via a flip phone, right? So he was like, he was like the early Steve Russler, right? And
different hair.
And so without that, so
yes,
I was
Nate,
on
you
with
missed all the Star Wars references, Nate. You missed them all.
You missed all of them.
Sorry, buddy.
I was on with him and a few other people that are coming, as well as speaking, and all the energy was like, yeah, we're excited about going to the sessions and hearing who's speaking. And there were, you know, it's always, you know, Kevin Fry and Greg Gifford and incredible people that are speaking. But all of the energy is always around kind of like what happens in the wings, right? What conversations and energy. And, you know, Greg was like, here's the thing, I'm going to be there. And if you want to ask me an SEO question, ask away. Like, I'm not charging consulting dollars at the ASOTU family reunion.
That's right.
So that's incredible. I mean, you're going to be sitting there with David Spisak, one of the most profitable dealers of all time. Right. So you've got the opportunity and everybody's a regular person. You don't have to go up and be like, oh my goodness, now I'm walking up to a quote unquote, you know, influencer in the automotive industry. Like, everybody's a regular person. Just engage, ask questions, dive in. And that's what that event can be all about. It's not just about the, you know, the fun and the party and the food and all that type of stuff.
It's one of the best parts about ASOTU events.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. This is not just like get your drink and then find your way to the next thing. Like, there's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be swag. There's going to be giveaways. But more than that, there are going to be very meaningful conversations that are happening and always do. I would rather have 10 minutes, 5 minutes with someone in a setting like that than listen to a 1 hour keynote, because I'm going to get more insight in those 5 minutes. So we hope you join us. If you are a dealer, work for a dealer, if you know any dealers in the greater Tampa area or anyone within really like an hour's drive, please let them know this is going on, even if you can't be there, because dealers, if you work for a dealer, you get to go for free. Thanks to our friends at Autify who paid for all the dealer tickets. You know, the tickets are starting to sell a lot faster now. Now that we're getting close, happens every time, right? People are like, oh, what am I going to do on Monday?
Yeah, I think it was like 35 tickets yesterday.
By the way, it's like the only thing to do on Monday night. So you don't want to be the one that can't go because we sold out of tickets. Go to ASOTU.com, ASOTU, just click on the little banner at the top. Reserve your tickets now. Even if you're a dealer and you're going for free, you still need a ticket. It's a ticketed event. There will be people at the door, and that is what it is. Also have Pitch Tank coming up today at 10 o'clock Eastern. So if you're watching the live stream, just about 45 minutes from now, Pitch Tank on Clubhouse, where 3 industry partners will pitch their product. Very short, 3-minute pitches. When was the last time you got a 3-minute pitch from a vendor?
All the dealers are like, and all the people rejoiced, right?
Right. So think about this, 9 minutes of listening and you can get 3 pitches. And not only that, but we have, in my opinion, some of the biggest experts in the tech space, in the dealer space. We're going to have dealers. We're going to have industry partners, sharp minds, asking questions about the pitch, maybe shooting some holes in the pitch with a good mentality, right? With the spirit of improvement.
Yep.
And that way they can ask questions that maybe you didn't even know you should ask, or maybe questions that you wanted to ask and you were embarrassed to ask. At the end, the pitches are all rated, so there will be a winner. The winner will be featured in tomorrow's email. Last week we had a lot of fun, and look, these are just always a great time to learn. So if you're there, 1 hour, you will get 3 pitches and lots of insight and a lot of fun. So just check that out on Clubhouse. If you do, what's our club? Automotive State OT Union. Or ASOTU.club will get you there as well. Let's talk about a little news.
Let's do it. Oh man, we're talking OEMs this morning, and we're kind of starting to get all of the April data rolled in, and I don't think anyone in the auto industry was like, really? But just to see the data of a lot of companies still struggling with supply chain issues and looking at lower delivery volumes in the 16 to upwards of 40% with Honda. So lower delivery volumes, Kia 16% down, Hyundai 20% down, Toyota 23% down, and Honda 40% down on total deliveries in April. Now, here's the crazy one.
And it's year over year, April.
Year over year.
Last year, April. And remember, April of last year, guess what we were talking about? Chip shortage.
Yep. Right. It was the very first time when things were really hitting, right? Because I think it was late March or early April where all of the supply chain issues kind of got jammed up, right?
Yeah, people were like, I think this is going to be a problem.
And then everyone was like,
don't worry, it'll be over by Q3.
Everything back by August.
Q3. We'll have you guys all stocked up by Q3. You can take that to the bank.
Take it to the bank, right? Yeah. And then Genesis coming out flying with a 45% increase. So continued attention on Highline brands. We've been talking about this for a while, that Highline brands are managing supply chain a little bit better because they're pushing chips toward that. Obviously, Hyundai pushing chips probably toward the Highlines of Genesis.
I mean, let's be honest. They didn't have to push that many chips.
They didn't have to push that
many. They made 1,800 more cars. Right. But still, it's worth saying. Yep. That brand's alive and kicking.
Yeah, and so now like all of the focus is on 2023 for coming back with supply, and
that feels realistic to me.
That feels the most realistic, right?
We're like, let's be honest, it's going to be another 9 months easy.
Yes, definitely. And this is we've been leaning into this takeaway, and I think this is where I want to spend a little bit of time is focusing on what you can control, right? Used inventory acquisition. And making sure that your brand deployment, that your culture, which is a part of your brand deployment, are sound, set up, solid, so that when things do return, that you're ready to go. And again, controlling your used car inventory, right? Because that's something that you can go purchase from the consumer, ensure that you have quality, merchandising set up. Like that's things that you can control that are day-to-day blocking and tackling to be set up for when new car comes back, that it's just kind of like a part of the flow of the store, right?
Yeah. I mean, look, it's easy to listen to all the high level data and stats. And we wrestle over this, right? Because we want to present usable things every day to the audience that we can actually improve the industry. And look, when we report and say, hey, like year over year, April over April, these OEMs are down. Like, what are we supposed to do with that? Well, first of all, it's like, realize there's so much in there we can't control. When was the last time you tried to control what an OEM does and were successful at it? What was that?
That's a loaded, he just loaded that one up.
When was the last time it was actually right? So the point behind that is, like, there are 1,000 things that we can control on the ground. And the most profitable dealers, guess what? They look at what the OEM's doing, they blink twice, and then they just keep going about what they were already doing.
And then they go talk to their fixed ops director right after that.
Absolutely. Right. And guess what they continue to do? Crush it. Crush it. So that's the takeaway on that story. It's like, let's focus on the things you can control. Think about it, be informed, and then all the things that Kyle just mentioned, right? Your operations, your fixed ops, your brand deployment, your company culture. When you do those right, guess what that translates to? Market share. It always translates to market share. So whether the pie is this big of inventory or if it's this big, you want the biggest percentage of it, because the pie will get bigger again. And when it does, you're going to have more of it.
Prime market opportunity for you, right? You're going to get inventory quicker, all of the things, right? If retention is set up, service is set up, and CPO volume is set up, the manufacturer is going to look at that well. So focus on the things you can control now.
No doubt. And everybody ends. Another thing we try to focus on, this next news story, is about indicators. We try to look at broad indicators, not just from automotive, right? Because a lot of times automotive is the indicator that other industries look to. Retail indicators, what's going on in automotive. So that means we don't really have a direct place to look, but we like to look at other things in culture, in travel and hospitality, right? Consumer mindset. Airbnb is showing very, very strong summer demand with bookings, increased bookings at higher than usual prices. They said from this Wall Street Journal article, said they expect their first ever profitable quarter since their founding in 2008. First ever.
I can believe it, because I mean, just to be real, I looked at the place where the family normally goes to the beach.
Yep.
It will be 45% more expensive to go to the same place this year as it was last year. 45%, which is a lot. That's a lot of money, y'all.
It was probably a lot of money before.
Well, okay, so like 2 years ago, mid-pandemic, we always go to the same place. Like, it's just where we go,
just
right?
Your thing, yeah.
It's just our thing. 2 years ago, it was like, wow, that's cheap. Last year, it was like, okay, that hurt a little bit. This year, it's like,
I don't know if we can do it.
I don't think we can handle
We might buy a fire pit and some marshmallows, right? And a couple bags of sand and sit outside.
Exactly.
So their first profitable quarter ever, if you remember, Amazon was not profitable for a really long time. And I kind of ironically, Amazon just had its first unprofitable quarter in a long time last month. So consumer dollars, right? Shifting to getting away, shifting to this experience. It says revenue was helped by customers booking a record number of nights and so-called experiences during the quarter, and hosts raising nightly rates. Their gross bookings, which is the value of the bookings made on the platform, grew 67% to $17.2 billion, which is a record. And here's the takeaway, right? This indicator, number one, people are willing to spend money to get away, spend money to their mindset's about having a great post-pandemic summer, right?
Yeah.
Help them do it, dealers.
Help them do it. Because here's the thing. If you've been on Google Flights recently, or Southwest.com, or any of those places, you know full well that flights are booking up and they're expensive. And so the affinity to maybe purchase that new vehicle or that certified pre-owned or something to get away for this summer, right? Maybe load up the family in the van or whatever it may be. The affinity to do that is going to be a lot higher than maybe, grabbing the flights or, traveling in a different way. So like, probably your marketing messages, your campaigns, your everything should like, we typically do this summer travel thing, but like your service stuff should be focused on how to get people to their experience.
Lean into it, right?
Yeah.
Hey, you have a great summer plan. The last thing you need to worry about is your vehicle.
Exactly.
Right. Lean into it, right? Not forever, but hey, when you take that cultural momentum, we say this all the time, right? The internet and cultural momentum is a river, right? Don't drop a boulder in the middle of it, trying to tell them, buy this, buy that, right? Build a little boat, let it float on top of the river. Here's a little help, right? People are, the indicator says people are excited and willing to pay more money to get out of town, build a little boat with your marketing and be like, we're going to help you just do that.
Get on the stream. I mean, Jared Kilway's out here building his boat. He's inviting me to his to his beach house.
Yeah.
Luckily, he's not going to hit me over the head with a 2x4 with the money. So
yes, yeah, it does. It's perfect. Yeah, Bobby Rosa jumps in. Looks like the community's got you covered. Yep, there you go. Kilway, everyone's coming to your place. This last story, near and dear to my heart. Little skeptical, definitely, as a motorcyclist, but Harley Davidson's EV brand, they created a brand called Livewire, is about to release their Del Mar, which is their second release. It's a middleweight motorcycle built around their Arrow platform, which is a battery pack, the electronics, the inverter, and the motor in a single unit that they're going to build a lot of bikes around. I got to say, the EV motorcycle thing has me going, well, I don't know if that's going to be the motorcycle same driver.
Thing. But like my thing is when I think of a motorcycle, what do you think of?
The noise, the sound,
right? Like that's just like the first thing that comes to your mind. My son takes a motorcycle and runs it around the house, like
making the noise,
making the sounds every time.
Oh, that's really funny to think about it that way. Now, what sound is he going to make? Their first vehicle, their first motorcycle, the Livewire 1, that has an MSRP of over 21 grand, actually goes 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. Goes about 150-ish miles on a charge. Takes 80 minutes to charge up. And here's the one point, and then I'm talking about their first bike, right? The specs haven't been released for the new one, but it's going to be much more affordable, they're saying, or people are speculating. And it has a haptic pulse to it. So you think when you use your phone, right? And you got the little bop, 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 right? So I'm like, okay, well, maybe you can get creative with the haptic pulse because that really does kind of add to the experience of using your phone, right? Okay, maybe you're riding it and you get the haptic going on and like it gives you a little feeling. But man, I'll tell you what, my favorite bike to ride, I have 2 bikes. The favorite one to ride is my 1979 that I feel
one, isn't it? Yeah, you feel everything.
It is a little loud, but it feels like you're sitting on an engine.
Right.
Right. Exactly. That's what it feels like.
There's something about that. It's similar to like I tried to get an electric mower one time.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing that I love about mowing is like the engine requires you to kind of like wear headphones or just like be so zoned out
it all out,
right?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's very similar to a lot of motorcycle drivers. It's like, look, when I'm on my motorcycle and nobody talking, right? We're doing a thing right now. So
I'll tell you what, if it's doing 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, you're still not focusing on anything else, right? That's what they say. They say if you're thinking about a bunch of other things, right? Because it's important to be focused when you're a motorcycle, right? Because one little thoughtless moment could mean you're dead. So like if you're thinking about other things, it just means you're not going fast enough.
Right. Exactly. There it is. Just got to go fast.
So, our takeaway is like, look, dealers, even though you don't sell bikes, right? There's a huge motorcycle community, right? This is a huge transition, right? You're trying to educate people about EVs, right? There's buzz around it. Like buy one of these things and put it in your showroom. That's what I think you should do.
Yeah. Drop yourself like an EV, an old car, a motorcycle EV
bike
and whatever your brand has on the showroom and just create an education matrix for the community.
That's a great idea because we know you don't have any inventory to put in the showroom.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. You don't have a genius. Come on now.
Let's go. If you do that, please send us a picture and let us know because we're going to start encouraging other dealers. We
put some of those stands with like a timeline up, right? And so people can kind of walk it and experience the timeline.
Use it, make some content
changes.
Make some content about it, have a little community event about it, get the motorcycle community to come out, right? Because their other car is a car.
Yes, exactly. You gotta have a car for them rainy days, right?
Yes. And in upstate New York, you can ride your motorcycle for specifically 2.5 weeks.
That's great.
Oh, well, that's all we got for you today. We hope you take away a little something from this. Look, go to the party. If you're in Tampa, May 9th, be there. Pitch Tank, we're about to jump into that room. Aside from anything, focus on what you can control and go bust it out.